Hey everybody, just want to come to you with a New Year's message from Old Women Teach. I'm Melissa Dean. Um, so I am not going to give this thought to you saying I have attained, because I think as long as we're all in the flesh and walk around in these earthly, temporary, mortal bodies, that we are going to have things that we need to work on. So this is something that I've been studying on for a couple weeks now, and just wanted to bring what I have so far to you, hoping that it would encourage you. I know a lot of people make New Year's resolutions around this time. A lot of people set new goals for themselves and things that they want to achieve or attain. So I just we try to keep these short so that you can listen to them during your lunch hours, where a lot of working women here, a lot of people that are, have a few minutes here and a few minutes there during their daily lives while they're taking their lunch breaks at their offices or whatever. So I just wanted to bring, and we may do this in two parts. So I just want to bring to you what I have for you today. We're going to talk about this struggle, I guess you could word it, in between the flesh and the spirit. So in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16, it says, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you?" In the 1 Corinthians 6:19, it says it in a different way. It says, "Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and you are not your own?" So in 2 Corinthians, then in chapter 6, it says, "What agreement has the temple of God with idols?" So that begs the question, then, what are idols? Idols are things that we worship, and it can be a person or persons, or it could be thing or things. So worship, then, how would we worship a thing? It's a formal expression of adoration and merit that should only be appropriate for deities. So that should only be appropriate for God. Um, that is something we show so much adoration. So it could be flattery, it could be in praise, it could be in extravagant gifts, or it can be shown through money or through giving. Our giving even is an act of worship. Our time can be an act of worship. What do we allot our time to? What do we I heard a minister say one time, and it's true. He said, "Show me your daily schedule, your daily schedule and your checkbook, and I'll tell you what you worship." So, see, our worship can be in where we spend our time, things that we allot or value our attention to, and in what we give our time and monies to. 1 Corinthians chapter 3:17 then says, "If any man defiles that temple of God," okay, and what is the temple? It's us. "Him shall God destroy, for the temple of God is holy, which temple you are." So what does defile mean? Defile means to violate, to spoil, to desecrate, or impair. So if I do something to my body, to my flesh, that impairs me from being able to worship God like I should be, like I could be able to, that would be an act of defilement. "For if ye are bought with a price, therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's." So it's saying both those things are God's, your body and your spirit. And how do we glorify? We bring honor to that, okay? So that is a little bit of our foundation. So over in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, then, it says again, "Ye are bought with a price, be ye not the servants of men." So then that asks the question, what is a servant? So if we think of like in a palace somewhere or something, okay, where there are people employed as servants to serve. They go when they're told to go. They come when they're told to come. They do what they're told to do. They have little to no control over their day, what they wear. They have little to no control over what they eat, what they do, where they spend their time, because they're controlled by somebody else. "Be ye not in servitude to men, okay, that they exercise little to no control over a situation. Be ye not in servitude to the flesh, to mammals, to mammon. Be ye not in servitude to these things, okay? Know ye not that whom you yield yourselves, you have to allow it, okay? Think of like in an intersection, yield, it would allow the right of way to someone else, okay? So don't yield ourselves, don't allow the right of way um, to something else. Don't allow, know ye not that to whom you allow the right of way to, okay, are your servants to obey. His servants you are. So whatever we allow the right of way to, what do we allow to control us, that's whose servant we are. Think about being in debt to something, okay? We work, we sometimes work 2 or 3 jobs because we are in servitude to that debt. Okay, we are a servant to the lender. So I guess the summary today is then that we are the temple of God, the temple of the Holy Ghost. We don't belong to just us. We aren't supposed to be in agreement with idols, and we express worship to persons or things in a variety of ways. It could be through our giving, through our time, through our adoration, through extravagance, etc., etc. We aren't supposed to defile, okay, violate or impair this temple, this body or spirit, but we're supposed to bring honor to God through our body and our spirit. Whatever we serve, okay, whatever we show little to no control over, we have yielded to that thing. We've allowed it. So that could be our temper, our mouth, gossip, discord, gluttony, slothfulness, overindulgence in whatever area, TV, screen time, whatever has control over us. Okay? So we can ask ourselves today, before part 2 of this, maybe tomorrow, and take a close examination in ourselves. What am I a servant to? Do I exhibit or display little to no control over my attitude, over my character, over my temper, over my mouth? Am I real quick to blurt out some profanity? Am I real quick to blurt out a burst of anger when someone cuts me off in traffic? Do I have little to no control over my finances, over my money? Do I have little to no control over doing things that aren't good for me? Do I have little to no control over uh, sowing discord, or what is it that I have yielded myself to? What do I have little to no control over my temperance? Am I moderate in all things? Um, do I do manage my time well? Do I manage my life well? How am I? What do I have little to no control? What am I showing little to no control over? And then that will bring us to part 2, which will bring us further into the works of the flesh and what we can do about some of these things that are manifest. Because be sure, we're gonna find out about it. And I'm not talking about worried about what your neighbor finds out about. I'm saying it will manifest itself. It will tell on you what you have little to no control over. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about ways to overcome this. We're going to talk about things of ways to win, ways to master. We master it. Master it. You can. There is hope for you. And we will talk more about that later this week. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.